Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is the most disturbing videos on the internet today. Let's dive in.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to do a really quick video on this staged Katy Perry to space hoax. Aside of all the other proofs of this hoax, I just want to show you this really quick one that happened during the live footage of the opening of the hatch. Check this out.
You know, you saw her get so emotional in her pre-flight interview. Is she still is that still the weighing emotion, or is she still just oh my God, I saw the stars, I saw the curvature of the Earth? You know, what's going to come out of her mouth, but really her heart? When
and is that Jeff Bezos out there right by the capsule? Kind of hard to see.
That is correct. That is Jeff Bezos, our founder, on the left, as well as Sarah Knights, our crew member 7.
Okay, guys, did you see that? Let's go back and watch it one more time. Okay, now I want you to watch the hatch door open from the inside. The lady runs over there real quick, says, no, shuts the door back, tries to stand in front of it. And then, actually, she starts laughing about it, as you can see right here, because, like I said, it's all staged. It has to look like it's open from the outside.
And we're now just awaiting the opening of the hatch so we can get some views from our 6 new astronauts.
Phelps.
And I would imagine Lauren Sanchez in seat 1 will be coming out first.
That is correct. They'll go. She's in seat 1, which is next to the left. The left window there. She will go first. And then last in number 6 is Carrie Ann. That is the window on the right.
Side canyon.
You see those vans arriving. Those are friends and family.
And that's Carrie Ann looking out the window, in the window to the right there. Lauren Sanchez on the left, and you really get a sense for just how big these windows are. I mean, when you're inside this capsule, it's almost as though you're getting a full 360 panoramic view. One of the cool features of this capsule, the largest windows of any spacecraft.
So over a third of the surface area of this craft is windows, and that's on purpose. There were many meetings with our founder, Jeff Bezos, where our engineers brought him some windows. He said, nope, make them bigger. They come back, nope, that's nice, but make them bigger. And what you get here, why is that so important? So many of our astronauts have said, when I got out of my seat, I looked at outside my window, and I turned around and I looked at the other 5 windows, and my brain created a panoramic view, a panoramic photo of it, because so much of the capsule is windows, and it makes for just an incredible.
That's that $1 billion laugh.
Incredible experience.
Sarah.
Good? Okay, here we go.
Here goes Jeff Bezos to open the hatch.
She didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys.
Okay, now you guys just seen them faking it with your own eyes. Once again, watch them open the pressurized capsule from the inside, not knowing that it's not cue time yet. And then you have the staged part where the media shows you all over the news that they're waiting for the guy to open the hatch.
Good? Okay, here we go.
Here goes Jeff Bezos to open the hatch.
She didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys.
And once again, you've been fooled, people.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
entertainment purposes only. Don't believe everything you hear, see, or this video. Tell me your guys' thoughts about that event.
That and many unanswered questions. However, the man-made nature of this site is well established, and although many will debate on whether it should be classified as an actual pyramid, the reality is that whatever you want to label it is totally inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, as it was undoubtedly created by an unknown group of ancient people, as archaeologists have confirmed. That and many unanswered questions.
Seems like more and more pyramids are popping up every day. How many more pyramids are discovered? You thought I didn't have an excellent specimen for you today? Think again.
Hey Rob, what's this rock?
This is a fluorite from the Auglaize quarry in rural Ohio, and one thing people don't know about me is that I actually had the highest truancy record for my senior year in high school because I was sneaking out to go collecting here at this location, which was not too far from Columbus, Ohio. This one was actually collected by my mentor, John Medici, and he would have found it probably in the 70s, 80s, into the 90s. It's the best and most treasured style of phantom fluorite from Auglaize, Ohio.
Hey Rob, what's this rock?
This is a
Purely fascinating. If I had to name this, the name would be GameCube. What would you name this fluorite?
Also tells us in the book of Enoch that the giants were between 300 and 3,000 ells tall. I'll talk more about that. That actually ranges from 130 meters to 1.5 kilometers tall. 1.5 kilometers, that's almost a mile tall. Also tells us in the book of Enoch that
A mile tall? Damn. What did they eat? 460 million years ago, this was an ancient ocean floor. Definitely looks prehistoric, like a scene out of Jurassic Park. If you're enjoying these videos, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we do these videos every single day. And I'd love to see you tomorrow. So let's get straight back into the action.
Water is interested in the color frequencies that minerals bring to the table. So water actually picks up these color frequencies. Once the water picks up the color frequencies, it no longer really needs the mineral. It's imprinted into the water. That's what minerals bring to our bodies. It brings the color. You know, gold, precious metals, that's nothing more than trapped noble gases. Because when we burn those precious metals in chemistry or being used as catalysts, they put off beautiful color spectrums. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Some of the non-precious metals like iron or nickel or these other things, they have a very short color, let's just say they're not too fancy in the color department, but the precious metals are put out these beautiful rainbow-like color frequencies, beautiful spectrums of color, chromium and the like. One thing we do know is that we're born 90% water, and they put us in the ground at 50% water. So somewhere between the beginning and the end, we start dehydrating. So there's a hydrogen deficiency that goes on. And Flanagan had his theory about hydrogen and promotes a good hydrogen product. But what I found is studying with working with a doctor by the name of Vladimir Volkov, is that the hydrogen is a positively charged molecule, and it is better suited if it's positively charged versus a negatively charged molecule. Well, one thing we're finding out is that the aging process and the dehydration do seem to go hand in hand, but it's the hydrogen, from my research, the hydrogen deficiency that leads to the silica or the crystal deficiency. In other words, the body begins to dehydrate, but at the same time, the crystal of the body, by the time we turn 40, for example, we lose about 30% of our bone mass. Women lose about 30% of their bone mass by the time they're 40. Men are about 22%. Substantial amount of bone mass. Well, that's the crystal of the body. That's the vibratory crystal. It's like the seed of the avocado that feeds the tissue in the avocado. And when you start diminishing the seed of the avocado, so nobody can measure the energy field that comes off the seed of the avocado, but we know it exists because we take that seed out of that avocado, it's not very minutes later that tissue begins to turn black or starts to brown. So it's that subtle energy field that feeds the tissue, which is pretty substantial tissue of the avocado. So what we're finding out is that maybe the hydrogen deficiency is leading to the silica or calcium deficiency that forces our body to start stripping our bones of the much needed calcium. And that maybe they're very much have something to do with the clock inside the body. Okay, well, I'll go back to this simple fact. Everybody thinks that bottled water is the safest water to drink, and it is safer than say tap water, but people are missing the real point is that water is an energy-seeking substance. And when you run water through carbon filtration, for example, you have stripped the electrons out of the water. Not completely, but a great deal of energy has been stripped away from the water molecule. So the filtration systems that we're using now is further de-energizing our water. That's another sad, true fact. So what we have to come up with is a way to revitalize our water past the filtration system. And not only revitalize the water, but erase the memory that it's carrying with it. And magnetic fields is a good way to do that. And magnetic fields has a great potential. One of the things I learned is the water did not like a magnetic field without being spun. And, you know, it kind of blurred the water. It basically created a blur in the water molecule, because it's no different. Again, if you look at, keep thinking about human beings. You know, one pole or one magnetic pole is no greater than the other because they both have positive benefits. But there's something about the vortex. See, there's something about the spinning and the spiral energy that's missing in your process. If you can create some kind of an energy vortex or some kind of a blade where you could put something where the water could spin while that magnetic field was in place. Because what happens is water wants to breathe it in. Otherwise, you're just affecting the outer wall of the molecules, and it's not able to suck it in.
Can we just drink water and spin in a circle really fast? I mean, how do we energize this water?
Water has to breathe.
What about making a copper spiral?
Perfect. Anything else seems to blur just electrical energy into the water blurs the crystal. Magnetic energy into the water blurs the crystal. But when you spin the water, you get a different effect. So it appears to me it's breathing. Water is interested in the...
Or maybe even like a copper cup that you shake and something. We got to energize this water. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Chinese factories are exposing luxury brands.
Made in Italy or made in France. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China.
China makes 80% of your designer bags.
Who's the Chinese supplier behind Under Armour? Shenzhou International.
Nike shoes from China to your country?
Who are the suppliers behind Salomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, la 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 la? First, Baocheng Factory.
It's not just calling them out. They're showing the world exactly where your $1,000 handbag or your $100 leggings are really being made. They're now offering you the same exact stuff, no middleman, no markup. In a bold move that seems more like economic warfare than manufacturing, Chinese workers are lifting the lid on a billion-dollar illusion. The bags, the shoes, the clothing that say made in Italy or designed in Paris, a huge chunk of them are actually being produced in China. And with Trump's new tariffs hammering Chinese exports, the factories are fighting back by selling directly to you online and calling out the whole hypocrisy. And on TikTok, it's gone viral. Factory workers and agents are filming inside production lines, showing piles of Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci purses, Lululemon leggings. Some say we make the same thing the brands sell, but for $20, not $2,000. Videos show labeled items sold from the same factory floor at 1/10 of the price.
Lululemon sells this jacket for nearly $100, but here only costs you $6 to $5.
The exact same item, just no label. And these videos, they're getting millions of views. And these aren't fakes. The bags and shoes being sold are real, or at least made in the exact same places with the exact same materials. Because luxury brands like Prada, Armani, and even Louis Vuitton outsource a ton of their manufacturing to China, and now we're learning this for real. They ship the parts to Italy, do the same little thing with the slap on the label, and boom, made in Italy. It's legal, but it isn't honest. If you're just throwing a label on something and saying made in Italy, but the whole thing was actually made somewhere else, you're lying. One investigation recently found that Chinese-run factories were paying workers $2 an hour to assemble $1,800 Armani handbags. And they still got the made in Italy stamp. It's all smoke and mirrors. These TikTok exposés are cracking the illusion wide open. If your $2,000 purse is made by the same hands as a $50 duplicate, why pay 40 times more? It's not just China breaking the rules, it's the brands gaming the system. And now, the workers who have been hidden behind the curtain, they're stepping into the spotlight and showing the world the truth. And frankly, I'm all for it. Expose these luxury brands that have been ripping us off for too long. The world's factory is speaking, and the message is clear. You've been paying for a label, not the labor. And in this new global economy, the label might not be worth that much anymore. Chinese factories are exposed.
Never been the type to spend that much on name brand anything. It almost feels like this is a giant setup, like the TikTok shutdown, all this was planned and orchestrated is what I'm feeling like.
These symbols represent a unique and undeciphered writing system, making the disc one of the most intriguing enigmas in archaeology. Its purpose, the meaning of its symbols, and even its authenticity have been subject to intense debate among scholars for decades. The disc's uniqueness lies not only in its unknown script, but also in its method of manufacture. The symbols appear to have been stamped onto the clay using individual seals, a technique not seen in any other artifact from the period. This has led some researchers to question its authenticity, suggesting it could be a clever forgery.
It looked like it was something written in, like, what's that Thor language? Isengard? You know, what's that? This escapes me. But that's the type of language that I seen. It wasn't cuneiform. It wasn't Paleo Hebrew. It looked like something from Isengard.
However, extensive analysis of the disc's material and manufacturing technique has supported its ancient origin. Despite numerous attempts at decipherment, the Phaistos disc's code remains unbroken. The symbols do not resemble any known writing system from the ancient world, and their meaning continues to elude scholars. These symbols represent a unique and
All right, I'm about to solve it all right here. We got a Ritz cracker at somebody's house. We got to go over his house, get some more Ritz crackers. Okay? Then we go up. Somebody needs a dress that has a boomerang. But we got to watch out for this bat. Okay? This dude's running to get a phone. Ghost is chasing another Ritz cracker. And as we're spiraling in, it's a game, guys. This is your first ever board game. Viking board game. You know? There, I solved it. You roll the dice. It's a puzzle. Tell me this isn't a game board. Archaeologists don't know what it is. It took us what? 20 whole seconds to figure it out that this is some type of ancient game board. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Well, I take vitamin C and lemon balm and whiskey.
Well, I start the day with a good hot breakfast. Porridge, eggs and bacon, and a drop of whiskey and tea.
You can defy the virus then,
Ah, very good.
What about you, madam?
I believe in a good breakfast, but I also believe if you have got the flu, rinse your inside out with continually with boiled water, about 4 or 5 half-pint glasses a day. Boiled water.
Well, my remedy for flu is to get a small Spanish onion, chop it up finely, and put some brown sugar over it and a little vinegar. And then when it's into a syrup, take a spoonful before you go to bed. It's a very good remedy.
Well, I'm a great believer in whiskey. I'm like the Scotchman. I believe in a drop of whiskey warm, and it sort of kills the germs.
I think boiled onions is a marvellous idea.
What's your recipe?
A jolly good hot rum punch and a jolly good sweat and stuff in bed till it's all over. Right?
Well, my mother recommends an old sweaty sock with salt round your throat, good pullover, and a good hot water bottle, and sweat it out. And then if you feel that you're not going to spread germs around, then get up.
Well, I think it's quite a simple ailment to deal with. I take a jolly good dose of salts and let nature do the rest.
Well, the best way that we find, and the only way, is the use of elderflower wine. If you take a good glassful tonight and you go to bed and you sweat it out, you know, and you're all right in a day or two.
Well, there is a good cure in mustard and lard, and you rub the two well together and
get a good blend in, and then after it's really, I don't know how to do it, but my father does it.
But does he eat it, or does he rub it into his chest?
Rub it on your chest, in the front and back.
Oh.
And it is a good cure.
I see. How about you? Have you got a good cure?
Goose grease. You can rub that on your chair, you know, after you've been cooking the goose, and then keep the grease and rub it on your chair.
A large sheet of brown paper and cut it to go under the arms.
Yes.
And you warm it first and get hot, a warm goose grease. So as spread mustard over the brown paper first.
Yes.
Get warm goose grease, which most people have got in the house. You spread it over the mustard on the paper to avoid any burning of the skin.
I see.
And should inflammation be setting in, as the doctor says it does sometimes, you boil elderflower and give the patient a dose of the elderflower water.
I see. But then, do you go to bed with this on, this brown paper?
Yes, and the goose grease avoids it from burning.
Oh. Don't you find it a bit messy?
Oh, well, you've got to spread that. You've got to put up with that, haven't you?
Well, if I feel as if the flu is coming on me, I take a nice big tumbler full of hot lemonade, put in about 3 teaspoonfuls of rum, 2 aspirins, get into bed, cover myself up well, tie the stocking that I've been wearing on my feet, one of them around my throat with a safety pin, and stay in bed and sweat it out. And in the morning, change my pajamas and stay in the bed. And then again, I do it again, and that's once in the afternoon, once again at night. And I find in 3 days' time, I'm cured.
What do you find is the best way to cure the flu?
Well, just think that you haven't got it, and to, better than that, boil onion.
Yes.
And just leave it go cool, warm, just cooler for drinking, and drink it up, and that's it. And just don't be languid about, just get out of it and work it off yourself. That's the only thing that, well, I've still got it now and I'm still about.
You've got flu now, have you? Well, in that case, I won't keep you another minute. Thank you.
Well, I take vitamin C and...
Well, in that case, I won't get you another minute. Get away from me, dude. We're doing this interview. You got it on you right now. Get out of here. For entertainment purposes only, consult professionals before doing any of this. But drop your remedies in the comments below.
Look at the size of this quartzite statue. Originally one piece of stone.
Tell me to jump the rope.
That's a pretty cool photo, playing My Little Piggies with a giant 20-foot Egyptian ancient sculpture. How crazy is that?
This is what they don't tell you. The Grand Canyon isn't just a natural wonder. It holds the secrets of an ancient, advanced civilization. But that's not even the craziest thing that was recently discovered. In a 1909 newspaper article, there were claims of an incredible find saying, an explorer discovered a hidden cave filled with Egyptian artifacts. The Grand Canyon has been studied for centuries, so what's really hidden within it? This is where things get scary. In the article, explorer G.E. Kincaid allegedly found a cave containing statues, tools, and hieroglyphs that resembled those of ancient Egypt. But here's the twist. Some scientists believe it wasn't even the ancient Egyptians, but an ancient advanced civilization called the Anunnaki. It's believed it was actually the Anunnaki who built the pyramids in ancient Egypt, and they also built pyramids and giant structures in part of North and South America. But once they left our planet, they took everything with them, leaving us with giant architecture all around the world. This is what they don't tell you.
What is the latest archaeology? I mean, we really haven't heard anything lately about archaeologists finding anything new. Is it just me? It's not like we found a new Egyptian tomb, you know.
I may or may not have climbed up. I may or may not have climbed up because there's no stairs. I may or may not have climbed up.
Was somebody inside that last one?
Because there's no stairs.
It was a shadow. I saw it.
I want to get a little more into the dynasphere. You built 5. Any effects you witnessed?
We had no idea what we were doing. No one had ever seen one. Really didn't know what they looked like. We just had a few black and white photographs. And we thought we were making a free energy machine. After we had it built, I took it to a science engineering fair in Denver in the summer of '96. Come back from lunch one day, and there's all these women standing around Atlin with their hands out like this towards it, as though they were warming their hands on a fire. And they were all very solemnly just standing there. And I thought that was a pretty strange thing to witness. And I said, "What are you guys doing?" Another lady says, "We're standing here feeling the love come off this machine." Sincerely from her heart, and all the rest of them nodded in agreement with what she just said. It was like my life passed before my eyes when she said that, because I realized they were feeling this energy, all of them. She chose to call it love, and they all agreed with it. And I hadn't felt anything. I didn't know there was any energy coming off this thing. And that began a whole new right turn on this project. I had to find out what she was talking about. I had to find out what she was feeling, why she was calling it love. You know, why wasn't I feeling it? A million questions came up. So I took it to a center in Tulsa, Metaphysical Center. I told them about the women, and I said, "There's something going on here that I don't have any clue about, but I want to find out about it, and I'm sure some of you are sensitive like those other ones." So we did. We did a whole series of meetings, sessions, and all sorts of things started showing up, just spontaneously, unexpected. And the paradigm just mushroomed, okay? Because to account for all these different things we were seeing, such as people were being healed on the physical, emotional, mental, even spiritual healings were happening. And some were happening immediately, some after repeated exposures to this. And so I started hitting the books. I found every book I could get that had the word love in the title. And I talked to everybody, and we had different people coming in, and the paradigm started to form itself together. I took it to a workshop and one day, and people started feeling joyful and spontaneous and excited and happy when they're around these dinosaurs. 15 or 20 people, and the place just broke up into this incredible joy. And one of the participants walked up to me later and he says, "I want one." So that was the first one that we made for another party. Pretty much.
What is a dynasphere? How are they able to feel this type of energy, and how is it generating the energy is the question. That's all we got for today's video. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop Turbo Tuesday in the comments. That lets me know that you're a real one, and I just want to say thank you for making it this far. This was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you tomorrow.